How's everyone doing today? Today is Wednesday, February 17th, 2021. Double checking, we're good. I have brand new stocks for you. Anyone who watches me since November, I call a few of the same ones often just because it's like, well, if it's a good setup, why would you don't fix what ain't broke, right? So if I call PSNL 5 times and it wins 5 times, who's complaining? But given the current market structure, we have the Fed meeting today talking about interest rates and what they want to do. You have the looming aspect that stimulus checks have not gone out yet. We have the looming aspect that we have new strands coming out of COVID. We have the looming idea that we cannot turn this around for the next few weeks, even months. So folks are a little bit concerned. Now, I'm not one of those guys who's like, the market's gonna crash, shit, and freak. No, it's not gonna. Relax, okay? We have 3 red days and people are like flipping their desks. The VIX is up, VIX, that's up, so it shows uncertainty. Folks are just a little bit confused. We're gonna see what happens today and tomorrow. With that being said, I found brand new ones that are really, really good for the scenario that we're in. They're gonna be a little bit lower risk, a little bit lower reward. We're gonna tighten that. We're gonna kind of clamp this down. Before we're going for some moonshots, going for some dingers. Now we're gonna go for 5-7% on a good move, risking 2 or 3%, right? Before, risking 5 to 6 for 10 was the move. Given this situation, I'm gonna personally chart these like I'm going for, 4, 5, 6%, and then getting out until we see some more green in the market. You can definitely hold most of these for like 20% for a long period of time, but again, I'm just going off what I like to see. This video and this channel again is made for beginners, intermediate traders. If you're a beginner trader and you're trying to learn how to use technical analysis, I'm your guy. If you're an intermediate trader trying to learn how to diversify because you're playing CCIV, good for you, NIO, FCell, Tesla, Google, Microsoft, you need to diversify. There's going to be tech sectors that drop. There's going to be food sectors that drop. There's going to be technologies, batteries, EVs. Sectors go up, sectors go down. We need to diversify our funds and protect ourselves. Ask anybody who's in long-term investments right now how they feel about this week. They're chilling. Anyone who's been omni trading, having long, shorts, ETFs, mutual funds, they're fine, right? So you need to diversify. If you want extra content, there is a Discord chat down below. It's over 200 people right now in about a week, which is insane. It's a really good community of folks. I post a lot of extra content. They get nightly newsletters with price targets, first stop loss. They get EMA line breakdowns, RSI. They get everything you want to have in a stock. And then they also get morning briefings and stuff like that. If that sounds interesting to you, check it out. If you like this through YouTube, cool. I'll have this relationship with you online all you want. It just depends on what you guys want from me. I also meet with people. My VIP section is taken up, but me and a friend met today online. Half-hour conversation about stocks. Really good time. We both benefited. It's been a great experience. If you want to get in on it, great. If you want to just be on YouTube, great as well. Last thing to note, before every single ticker is going to be a ticker screen. It's going to say, ABC. And it's going to have this stonk guy sitting there like, right? Pause the video, go to TradingView, go to whatever you use, Thinkorswim like me, and then chart this yourself. Do the supports, resistances, trend lines, any patterns that you see, any trends that you see, and then do your indicators. If it sounds like, it sounds like what I'm doing, sounds like you're doing a good job. You're learning. That's what I want to see. Otherwise, let's get into it. 9 brand new stocks, 12 or so extra ones. We have some brand new ones for you. Let's check them out. Welcome back. So today I have 9 new ones for you. The list above me, the top one that says poop, always our favorite one, is our 9 fantastic setups. The ones below it are intermediate plays. Again, if you are a beginner trader, take the first 9 and then stop my video. Take it, go home, do not continue. If you want to watch it for entertainment purposes and want extra education, sure. But do not watch these, do not put these down for tomorrow. They're intermediate level trades. What I'm focusing today, this is extremely key for you guys to understand. It's risk versus reward. Only an idiot, and this is the word idiot doesn't mean that you're actually stupid. It's like an over-exaggeration, but dumb people who enter the market go for dollar values. Veterans go for percentages, right? I want to mitigate risk and go for as much opportunity as possible. That's what today's goal is. So I purposely went out and I found like 50 new ones. It took a long time, but these are the top like 20 that I found. These are already in bullish setups. They're just pulling back today, right? These are bullish stocks. They're looking really good. They're just pulling back, right? So a lot of these are looking very similar. It's not an accident, right? So there's not many horizontal plays that I could find. There's a few, but these are a lot of really good up trending, looking really good. They're just pulling back. The second thing you're going to notice from today is I have 4 boxes over here. Now this is only going to be for my Discord users and my community members moving forward, but I want to explain to them in this video, and then also to you if you ever want to join what you're going to get. There's 4 boxes, and they're colored for a reason. The color box, and again, I'm going to share these charts with my Discord group. So the red one is going to be where your stop loss needs to be. And again, you have your feeling confident will probably be, or you're feeling nervous will probably be a little bit higher. And again, I got to work with it. I got to see what I want to do. You're feeling confident will be down here. You're feeling a little bit nervous will be in this area. Now, with this particular stock, see how it's down here at 4.5%? You can easily set your stop loss about, at $49 here. That's totally fine. I'm going to tweak with these, right? I'm going to work with them, see what I like. I don't want to like completely black it out. I also don't want to completely make color, but red's going to be where your stop loss is. Anywhere from here and up, so anywhere, in this whole area is a good stop loss area if this goes sideways. And this is your loading zone. As the stock goes on, it can reverse in theory if it does anywhere in this box. Top of this channel, bottom of this channel, or the support area. So you need to make up your mind. The farther down you can get, the better, but as soon as it leaves the channel, you're kind of you're gonna lose a lot of value in the stock. I'm not saying you shouldn't. If it's like right here, like $50, $51, yeah, dude, it's fine. Go for it, right? But this is gonna be your optimal loading zone. And then here's gonna be your price target in the green. Sure, if it gets rough in this area where it consolidates at, you wanna just take 2.5% and get out, get some green and go to the next one, that's great. But what you wanna optimally go for is anywhere in this box to up here, right? That's your optimal goal. And then of course you have a gray box. I made it gray like the moon because if you have a moonshot, right? It's a meme thing, but if you actually go to the moon and make a big move, this is completely reasonable to see, right? So all the tickers that are good today, all our big ones, have those 4 boxes. Again, I'm going to work with them, but if you're in my Discord chat, if you have all those things I already do for you, which again, I don't mind doing, I love doing these kinds of things, this will be easier for us because as the stock moves on and you have the shared chart, you can put these yourself. As time moves on, guess what? Those boxes will be there. So it makes your updating a lot easier. It's visual as long as we're in stuff that I do. So that's why those are there. With no further ado, let's get into it. Our first one is APAM, Artisan Partners Asset Management. What a beautiful uptrend. A lot of these today, if you go to the 1 year, 1 day chart, you can just see it's on a tear. It's doing good. Now, does this trend line match up perfectly? Nope, it does match up well for this one. And again, a lesson that you need to understand is that when strong supports, resistances get broken, trend lines need to be reset. So this kind of stock is constantly having to reset its trend lines. As soon as we break above $55 and go long, we'll have to reset it again, right? But as of now, great loading zone right here, super easy read. And again, the idea is not dollar signs. It's risk versus reward. We're having some red days. We're going to pull it back. I'm lowering our expectations somewhat. So you have this stock. At most, you lose 3%, maybe 5% if you're really confident in it. But again, you're going to gain 5 to 6. That's 2 to 1. Easily could see 3 to 1 though, right? So we're recalibrating what we're going to do. It's a really good setup nonetheless. Real quick too, we'll get the indicators in a second. As you can see, I scrolled over here. See how this is now showing? If this happens to you, if it happens with this tool, you're like, achoo, and you do this, and you're like, well, now what? Because now when you recalibrate and you double click, it looks like this. What you do is you go to settings, and then time axis, and you hit that 0. And you'll be right to where you usually are. Now, for what I'm doing, and what I implore y'all to do, I put it around 45 usually. It's a good, it's a tiny bit, right? And so now the whole chart's still on here. We just have a little bit extra. So if that happens, time axis from your settings can show this, right? Great setup. We have our goals. Let's check the indicators. So you can see it's bouncing off the 200. Is that an accident? No. Is that why we have our loading zone where it is? Yes, right? There's a good chance it may come down just a little bit farther and tap off of that. The 50 is important, right? Our goal is right above the 50, and then we can ride it up. That's why the moonshot makes sense. If it does break the 50 and goes up, you could easily see a massive run up like this. That's insane, right? You can ride that all you want. That's what she said. So really good looking EMA lines. Your RSI, oh, it's not oversold. You're right. But it could be a little bit lower, but does it reverse in this area? Yeah, at 45, at 40, 41, it has a history of reversing on an uptrend. Now, do trends like this, get oversold? No. So if you want to miss this whole move because you want to have this perfect one spot every 6 months, be my guest. Stochastic is super low. It could be a tad bit lower. As of right now, if it reverses soon, we'll put our two bottoms together. that doesn't match up. So if it does reverse tomorrow, a very strong side, it's going to really push up. Now, if this does dip down farther, like it does have another few days of dropping down, it'll break that divergence, right? And that's looking pretty good. RSI, it looks good. Vortex has never been lower. I use Vortex like this. How many days does it take to reverse when the greens meet the red? 11 days. Over here we had 2 days. This big one, we had 13 days. But see where it reversed at in this 13-day one? Halfway through. With this one over here, where did it reverse at on this whole 12 days? Halfway through at 6 days. So that gives you an idea of how long reversals usually take. Vortex is great for that. We are currently in day 6. It takes about 6 to 10 days. We're about halfway through it. So the Vortex looks good as well. APAM, 10 out of 10. Great risk, great reward. You have your targets. I like it a lot. Next is CC, the Kimura's company, not the pizza place. The pizza place is gross, but if you struggled before, $5 all you can eat pizza, shit, call me in, boy. This is a easy read, but you need to mitigate your risk. Just like I've been talking about with these red days. Super, super simple run up. You see how easy this is to see? It's been on a complete tear recently, a complete tear. Now this trend line, again, is a little off because Thinkorswim sometimes does a bad job of really lining it up, but you can make your own. The trend line in the middle shows you that there are reversals early, right? There are some reversals early, right? It does, that's what we're doing here. I'm thinking that's what's going to happen here. Now, this is where risk comes in. If it breaks it, it's going to come down to the golden line. Every single time it's broken it, broke it, tapped, broke it, tapped, broke it, almost tapped, broke it, tapped. So you got to keep a very short leash on this. The support's right there. So this is going to be your loading zone. From here down to about 25.60 is going to be your loading zone. If this breaks beneath this previous low, this big rectangle, if this breaks, you cut it, right? You're gonna miss the move if this breaks. You'll be okay. We're all about risk management in this kind of market. If it comes down and taps the yellow, this golden line, you buy in again, and now this becomes your stop loss, right? So this is like a twofer. If this doesn't live, you cut it and you buy back in this golden area. You want to see about 27, 28 bucks. You can see easily 30. So really good setup, but you need to have a stop loss. Some of you guys are not putting them. You're getting burned. Have a stop loss. This one's going to have 2. If you buy in here and it breaks, you sell it at 25.20 and then you rebuy in at 24.20, right? You save yourself $1. If that breaks, this is your whole stop loss, and most of these 5%. You lost 6% in a really good setup. You'll take that. You really did your work. But you can easily see from here, 8, 10, maybe 15%, right? Let's check the indicators. So just like APAM, it's bouncing off the 200. It does occasionally break it. We're not going to freak out. But again, if you really want to see some good life, it needs to break above the 50, and then you can ride that bad boy all night long. So if you can get there, you want to just, wait. If you're Mr. I like to wait for crosses, well, then baby, wait for that cross, baby. It's okay. I don't like to. I like to wait for value. But this is your journey, your marathon. If your strategy is wait for the 10 to cross the 50, then that's what you do, man. I'm into best value. Some folks are more into that. That's totally fine. RSI could be lower, but again, it reverses in this area, so not freaking out. Stochastic is low. Vortex is low. Vortex looks like green, doesn't really stay down here too long. So great setup, 10 out of 10. Do your due diligence. It just had its earnings report. Will it keep going down? Possibly. Last time it had it, it went up. Over here, it had it, and it came back down. So it may, be consolidating a few days, but CC needs to be on your guys' watch list for sure. CTIC Biopharma. This is a play that may have FDA approval or do drug stuff. You need to do your research. We have our targets over here. Your loading zone's right here. Now, if it takes off the rest of the day, you may be in trouble. It is about 8%, 9% away from being a total collapse. So this is where, again, it comes into what you want to do. Every time it's tapped to this channel, it's got to make money. Tapped to make money. Tapped to make money. Tapped to make money. Tapped to make money. Right? Every single time. Now, this last one was a very small one, made 6%. So you'd be looking at maybe making another percent, or at least breaking even, if it doesn't take off the way we want it to take off. But almost every single time, it's gotten close to this orange line. So do I think this is a good buy-in? Sure. I think it's good. It has, it has some pretty good green ones. Let's see what it does. If it does go long, easily 3%, your stop loss can be, 4%. That's not a perfect setup right here, but it's such an easy read. It's like KPTI, but like a little bit cheaper, ironically. It follows very similar movements too, ironically. You want to see at least 360, 370, and of course you can see a whole move up to 20%. Really good risk management, super clear play here. I like it a lot. Let's check the indicators. Well, gee willikers, would you see that 200? So it's bouncing off of it again. We're right here. It just crossed it. If you're Mr. Worrywart, you're gonna wait for the 50 to be crossed over and go long. But this is a great setup right here. I love it. Really good looking indicators up there. RSI, does it get oversold? No, but it does go to 38. It was just there, and every time it does, it's gone up to about 58, so we got some room to run. The stochastic looks exhausted, so we may see a pullback, and Vortex is kind of coming up. So they're kind of a mixed bag. Price action-wise, it's beautiful. What you want to wait for is that 50 cross. If it breaks a 50 and it holds it, you want to go long. Now it's going to retest it, right? It comes up and retests it and bounces. It goes up, didn't live, goes up, retested it, took off, went up, retested it, and took off. So if it breaks it, give it a day. If it dies, dope, best value, right? CTIC is a great setup. Next is EMX. Wow, it looks very similar. That's on purpose. We're trying to find the best value. We're trying to switch our strategy based on the market conditions. If it was a green market, yeah, we get horizontal ones and we kind of get some different setups. Again, with a red market, we're trying to find bullish stocks, right, that are on sale, right? So all the people in the comments, actually there aren't any, I would say that, but I have like 100 upvotes, no downvotes for a reason, because I'm loved. So this is a great uptrend right here. A possible ascending triangle forming. Those are daddy's favorite. The loading zone, perfect. It tapped at the bottom. Look at that. Ooh, it got right in that support area, tapped it, and now it's showing some life. You love to see it. You have a clear stop loss area anywhere in here. If you're Mr. Worry, I'm scared, right? 3.5%. If you like to feel confident, Mr. Big Balls, 7%. If you really want to ride with this one, that's totally cool. You want to see at least 350, 360. You can easily see 380, 390 up this kind of play. EMX is a great uptrend. It looks like it's consolidating over here, took off, and now it's consolidating. We want to see if we can make another step up above 380. That'd be really cool. But it's a great setup. Let's check the indicators. Whoa, boy, it's bouncing up to 200 once again. This is like a PSNL or a surf that we always play. It's getting really close to it. You can see it's gotten less and less tappy. See how it was like a really deep one, minor one, doesn't touch, and doesn't touch. So it looks like it's getting some more strength, which is really good. But that's right there. If you want to wait for a 50 break, that's great to go over it. Cool. It doesn't get much lower than where it is right now. Great sign. Stochastic come down just a little bit farther, so we may see another day or two of kind of gearing up. And the vortex just crossed red, but this takes usually only 12 days with weekends, so we may see this kind of reverse well on Monday or so, but you can still make money in these kinds of setups. It just, for a full move, 8 days. So it just crossed that way. So about that, day 3 or 4. Yeah, so it should be reversing like, 3 or 4 days. It's going to consolidate for a minute, but you have your loading zone clear for you. Price targets look good. It's a really nice setup. I like it a lot. EMX, great pickup. IMMR. You guys remember EXAS? Ooh, it's living too. That's really nice, right? The IMMR is a very similar setup. It looks really, really good. And again, we're going for clarity and risk management. Again, we can go and try to hit dingers all day like we're Jose Canseco or Sammy Sosa or whatever, Francisco Lindor. Come back to my Indians. I miss you. So we could do that all day, but let's try and go for realistic goals here. If you have a big fat loading zone anywhere, here's a really good value. If it drops, okay. Worst case, Ontario, 4%. If you're really confident, 10%. You're risking a lot, but what is the target? Easily can be 10, 12. I think a full move, which you can accomplish, is 25%. So this is much more of a big hitter. It does consolidate. See how it's consolidating sideways? It's consolidating up, consolidating up. We may see a very slow burn here, like whoosh, and then it takes off, right? So we want to see it gearing up for a big move, but it's a bullish setup for sure at a good value. I like it a lot. Let's check the indicators. And so the 200 is pretty far away, and the 50, it bounces off of it, it breaks it, right? Little baby tap there, little baby tap here, little baby tap here. So that's a good sign. It's riding the 50. That really breaks down. You can sell early, and you can get out before you really get burned. Does the RSI. Here's our uptrend. Okay, it starts over here. Does our uptrend get lower than where it is now? Nope. Looks like it's perfectly lined up with the other reversals. Looks really good. Stochastic is dummy low right now. That's great. Vortex is stupid low right now. That's great. Absolutely bomb-ass setup. Again, mitigate your risk. Do not pull a trigger early because I'm saying it's a good deal. If you want to wait for a confirmation of the MACD or confirmation of the EMA lines, do it. That's your risk management policy. But again, it's a great setup. You're looking good here. I like it a lot. Let's check the next one. Next is NEE, just like the Knights of Ni. That's what we're looking at right here. SICK reference, real OG shit right there. So it's a really good support area. It's right here in the channel. I would want to see a little bit lower, but we have to then, you need to weigh price action versus giving up, or like you want to see good price action or a good value all the time. Look at this, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, and it's holding that higher low. So again, do you want to have a better deal? Sure, but how much lower are you going to get? Not much. It's shown higher lows across the board. We're still in our loading zone. Okay, it's 1% up. Oh, and we want to see at least 3 or 4 or 5, 6%. Hopefully you can get a whole moonshot to 9 or 10. Now, that's not a lot of profit, so it means that the loss is, you're risking about 2%. You're risking at most 4% for a 10% move. It's a good setup. Slower moving, but it has a lot of real good consistency. What we don't want to see, though, is this. You see this right here? Oh, my God. Almost 2 months. See this right here? Oh, my God. 2 months. Right here, though, we're 31 days in. So I don't think it's going to consolidate that bad. Even in the consolidation, though, we had some pretty big moves. And every blue is big red, green, big red, green, big red, green, red, green. So think this big red one, we had some green. Hopefully it does that too. You have your price targets. Looks like a good loading zone. Really good setup. Let's check the indicators. I bet EMA lines are involved. You're a wizard, Harry. Who knew? So the 200 EMA line gets broken often just to come back. If you are going to want to wait for that till you have that 200 get retaken again, you want to wait for little baby green boy to come over and take that 200, retest it and take off, by golly, you do that. But I think it's a great value right here. It's oversold. That very rarely happens, and that's a great sign. Stock is dummy low. That's great. Vortex is stupid low. So check your EMA, not your EMA, check your fundamental analysis. Make sure no news came out like, oh, the CEO of NEE put human meat in their food or something, and then it's like, oh God. Or make sure it's not like Texas energy company that shut down Texas, right? If that's it, that's a bad look. So make sure it's a good one, but looking at it just from technicals, it's beautiful. Love it a lot. Next is SEM, Select Medical Holdings. That's great. It's kind of like that surgical ETF we played before. Look at that. It's gorgeous. It never gets overextended. There's never any gigantic spikes. It just is a nice, steady, little, nice-looking boy. Making some good moves here. You have earnings on the horizon. You know how earnings do to stocks. It's been kicking the dog shit out of them real hard. I mean, you don't want to say it, but earnings have been beating the shit out of some of these stocks today. It's been bad. So that's coming. You need to cut it by then. Do not be Mr. Hero and be like, oh, I'll hold it. Yeah, don't do that. So your loading zone is looking good. The support's down here, so anywhere really in this area is a fine value. If it dies on you, okay, you're going to have a large stop loss here. Bring that up. Okay, if you want to have it be right above this support and then buy back in, that's fine. I'm just saying price action-wise, it needs to be in this area. But what are you risking, right? 8%, you'll make 5, 6, you'll make a whole move of 15 or 16. So it's a good 2-to-1 play. At worst, again, I would not advise having your stop loss being this low. I'd probably put it, right about here. This needs to be where you're kind of getting a little bit worried just because we're seeing some green today. I found this morning, it's showing some life. It really wants to break this resistance. If it doesn't break this resistance, buy it in this channel and sell it in this channel, right? If it does not live. But SEM's a great setup. It looks really good. Let's check the indicators. Just like the others, it's very bullish. It's broken the 200. It wants to break the 50. It wants to get back up there. That's going to be your sign. I usually say you should wait or do what you want to do. You need to wait. If it breaks the 50, what's it going to do? It's going to break it, retest. See that? Break it, retest. It's either going to retest the 10 or the 50. Let it break it. Buy in right when it breaks if you want to, or wait for the retest. But you need to wait for that signal to go long for this one. RSI is a fair value. It's been low, but it's been fair this whole time. Stock's low. Vortex is crossing green. It's a great sign. So a really good setup. Again, just wait for the 50 to be taken over and it'll be good to go. But SEM is a great setup. Next is VRSK. Look how far back this channel goes. Let's check it out. Look at that. 5 or 6 good times, looking really nice. You know, it's just showing some life. You'll love to see it. It's right in your buying area. It's right above the POC, which is a strong support and resistance. It has pretty good volume. It has good volume today. 133, 300,000, looking really good. Earnings is on the horizon. So let's beware. Now, both times it has gone green from it, but let's not be a hero. It's a great setup, but you can hold this at most, 7 days. So you don't want to be holding this shit for a long time and getting burned. But this is definitely in a great area of value. Could be a tad bit lower. But again, we're talking about 3 to 5% as your risk. A good, healthy move. Worst case, 3 to 5% too. But we're aiming for at least 10% on a good shot here. Again, we need to reel in our price targets. They would be a lot higher, but with the market, I'm reeling them in, saying take your profits a little bit earlier until we see some life on the S&P 500. Looking really good though. Great setup, great channel. I like it a lot. Let's check the indicators. So the 50 just broke the 200. If you want to be Mr. Wait for a cross, that's what you're going to want to do. As that crosses above the 50, great sign. It does break it occasionally, come back, and it does break the 50. So first time in a while, it's been beneath both, but it's come back both times all the toes times pretty easily. So I'm not going to freak out about that. But those will be resistances moving forward. If you can't break above these resistances and these EMA lines, you're going to have a problem. So if you want to wait, that's great. But, that's a good saying. If you want to wait, that's great. But it's really good risk reward price-wise, so not freaking out too bad. RSI could be a tad bit lower, so we'll wait on that. Stock super low. Vortex is consolidating. So a big move is consolidating right now. It hasn't consolidated much in this history, so I think a big move is coming. Let's see what it does. It's a great setup. It was better this morning when it was down here, but showing some life, not a bad sign at all. And last for our gray ones is XLU. We zoom out again. Look at that. Just been on a nice little baby tear here, really showing some life. Now, you have a really good buying area. It's 1% either way. Worst case, you're going to lose 3% on this one. Make at least 3% on a good move. Easily can make more than that if you hold it for a long period of time. It's a really good looking stock here. It's had higher lows consistently, and we're right there. I mean, how much lower can it get? I'd buy in right now. Looking really, really good. It looks really it's nice. If it gets a little bit lower, that's fine. Support's right here. It's a really, really safe play. I like it a lot. Select sector, Spitter Trust, great. Everyone knows who these people are. No, but it's a really good setup a lot. I like it a lot. Let's check the indicators. It respects the 200 the most. It does bounce off the 50. So if you want to wait for that, dope. But it's a great value. EMA lines will be resistances, but it's a great setup nonetheless. RSI is dummy low, stock dummy low, Vortex dummy low. Again, it's a really, really good setup. It's really good risk management already built in for you. I like it a lot. XLU should be in your guys' watch list this week. And there you guys have it. Those are your 9 beginner plays. If you're an intermediate trader, I got some more for you. If you're a beginner, listen to me. Damn it. No. Turn off the video and take these 9. Go and chart them yourselves. Watch them yourselves. If you want to watch the rest just for educational purposes, that's fine. But do not be trying to juggle 15 stocks tomorrow in a red market. You're going to fail. I mean, I love you, but you're going to fail if you don't do this correctly. So if you're an intermediate trader, let's go. Beginner ones, please stop the video. Thank you. So I don't turn off the indicators during the intermediate part because I trust you guys to be able to do this yourself. I'm just trying to go as quickly as possible. ARNC, we call it over here. It's like, it looks pretty good. And it went kerchoo and made some good money. That was a pretty cool time for everybody. We're right back here again. Support hasn't changed. We're still in trend, looking really good. It just needs to break both EMA lines. It wants to do that so badly. Once it gets above both and holds, it's a great sign to go. All indicators are low. ARNC, you just got to see it break the 250 and then go long for sure. It'll be a great setup when that happens. DDOG, not Doge, but close, is a beautiful setup. This will probably be in the top picks tomorrow if it has a red day. But we're looking at it, it's just above where you want it to be, where the risk is like going to be 5, 7, 8% at least. And the profit's going to be huge. If it makes a good move, like 5, 10, 15% easy. But for a beginner, I don't trust them to watch this. This may be, if it's a red day tomorrow for this one and it does drop down into this channel, hell yeah, that's going to be a 10 out of 10. But while it's up here and it makes consolidation, I do not trust a beginner to watch a stock for 2 days, 4 days consolidating, trying to get in the best price. I don't trust them. But DDOG, fantastic setup, possible setting triangle, easy channel read up, really good setup. I like it a lot. DY is a very similar situation to DDOG. It is right above where I want to buy it, but it's making almost like a double bottom. So this could be a very strong support, but I want to see it come down to $78, $79, and then I'll buy in, right? The 50 just broke. It does come back, so I don't want to lose that. I don't want to give up 50 bouncing for price action and strength all the time. But if it does come down and, this little scoop, little skimp, just taps that and comes back, great setup. Not ready yet. It may reverse tomorrow, but I trust you to make a good decision. But this could be a tad bit lower. Next is HRTX. It's a great uptrend. We called it before on this channel, and it's just coming right back into where we want it to be. Now it does consolidate right in this area. See how it consolidates 24 days? It does consolidate 18 days. It's on day 6. There's a chance you're going to get caught here. It's going to take forever. But again, this was on an uptrend, downtrend, uptrend, downtrend, uptrend. We got to see it show some light first. So you want to put a little bit of money. Want to put a little bit of money into this, not your whole portfolio or like a whole 10% of your, capital. Put 5% in, let it ride, see what it does, right? It takes time to remove, but when it does, it makes a lot of good money for sure. LSI is another tough one to read because it's right above where I want it. I would usually say, shit, yeah, boy, go for it. But it's easily 2% higher than I wanted. And last week we learned a lesson. A lot of folks got burned getting too happy feet, and they're like, oh, I want to go in. And now they're kind of fun, right? So it's right there. If this does break the 50 and go along, yeah, then you should buy in, right? But until it does that, breaks it and retests it, you don't want to buy in really until it gets down to the 200, or at least in this channel. So if your channel lines up differently and it's there, pull the trigger, baby. But it's too high for me. If it does come down more, I'll buy in. But for now, close, but not perfect yet. Next is OMI, a very similar situation where I want it lower, but I also know that these two trend lines that are possibly making are right beneath it. It's not breaking the 200. Now it's trying. If it breaks this 200, hell yeah, go along. But until that happens, we can't really for sure say it's a good thing or a bad thing. We can't say it's living or it's not living until it breaks that 200 and inevitably the 50. So watch it. My dosages. Watch it. If it does break both, hell yeah, go along, right? But the indicators say, it's okay at best. I just don't want to get it, 6% over where I think it should be, right? We missed it by a day, and that happens. But it's a good setup. We just got to see what it does. PAYX, it could be, again, a tad lower. It looks like the market's kind of turning green for right now, which is pretty cool. It could be a little baby scoop lower. So it's an okay setup. I like it. I think it may come down in the next day or two. Do I want to pay more than 3%, 2% of where I want to get it? No. If we're swinging, 2% can be a good deal into a great deal. So I don't want to do that. You can easily 5% though from where it is right now. I just want a little bit lower. Let's watch it tomorrow. And I've called SPPI before. This is a good uptrend. Yeah, it's right there. It's a great deal. It's just that this one, if it collapses on you, man, you can get burned quickly, boy. This thing can lose 6, 7, 8%. And until it really takes back the 200, is it that viable? It's getting there. It's showing, lower highs across the board, boop, boop, boop. It's trying to break that 200. That's going to be your signal. If it breaks the 50 and the 200, day trade it for sure. If it breaks both these or breaks even the 50, and it makes some good moves, you can day trade this son of a gun crazy, right? But until I see any actual life over those email lines, I would definitely wait. And there you guys have it. Almost 16 great plays. I have 9 that are fantastic. The rest of them are okay. They're just more intermediate plays. If you enjoyed this content, which I'm sure you would if you sat through a 33-minute video, I implore you to subscribe, like, hit the bell notification. If you're interested in the Discord, check it out. There's no pressure. I'm not the kind of guy. I will say, this is not to incite pandemonium, I will be capping it eventually. Not because I am a dick, but just because I strive for quality. The community that we have, ask anybody who's in it, it's fantastic. Folks are being very positive, throwing ideas off each other, calling calls, asking good questions. Folks are helping. I'm not sacrificing that for anything. So as soon as it gets too big, I'm cutting it off. Now, is that going to be like tomorrow? No, you got a few weeks at least, for sure. But if it definitely does get to a point where it's like overwhelming, it'll be capped. So I'm not going to, I don't want anyone else to be like, oh, I gotta go. Well, I'm going to be on here constantly for YouTube, right? If you like it, great. But again, if that service does become capped and then slowly opened up every month, it may be put on a watch list. That's all I'm going to say. So I appreciate the support. Love it. Thank you so much. If you guys need anything, let me know. We'll see you guys tomorrow for an earlier video. I'm going on vacation early, and I will not be here on Friday. So I'll be an early video tomorrow. If you guys need anything, let me know. Otherwise, have a good rest of your Wednesday. We'll see you guys later. Thanks.